Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's Hacking Your Hormones for Weight Loss Q&A. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Phyllis Thompson, your favorite hormone hacking coach for weight loss. And every single one of my lives, you'll walk away with at least one tip that you can implement right away to start shrinking that waist, feeling better, aging for longevity, and getting rid of those pesky symptoms that are driving you mad. Now, it's been a couple of weeks. I have been away while I, took care of myself after my husband's passing. But we are back now. So if you submitted a question prior to me taking a little break, I will answer it tonight. And I will also message you to let you know that I did answer it, because I do know that it's been a couple of weeks since we have been able to do this. So without further ado, let me go pull up the questions that came in. So the first one is from Corrine, who asked what foods to eat to maintain both hormone balance and weight loss. Well, it really depends on which one of your hormones are out of whack. So one of the best things to do is go to your primary care physician and have them run a full sex panel on you so that we know what levels are low, what are high, and what's going on with you. You can also take our hormone quiz, which will give me a really good idea of what's going on in your body until you wait to get that hormone test from your doctor. So if you want to take that, just let me know, drop me a message below or shoot me a message in Messenger, and I'll make sure to get that hormone quiz over to you. But to balance your hormones and support weight loss, you want to focus on some key foods, right? Some are going to be more important than others, depending on how you present and what hormones actually show up being low versus high, right? But you can't go wrong with incorporating all of these into your daily nutrition. So like phytoestrogens, and those are basically, the word phyto means plant. So there's a plant estrogens, right? So you want to make sure you're getting lots of organic vegetables, flax seeds, soy products that are organic, because non-organic soy products can be toxic to our bodies, right? You want to get high fiber foods. That goes back to those phytoestrogens. A lot of those are going to be our vegetables, fruits, legumes, depending on the woman. Again, this is why I always say it depends on how you present. Legumes are not ideal for some women depending on what's happening in her body. Whole grains, as long as your body tolerates those well, right? Healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish, things like that. Lean protein. The quality of your proteins matter so much, and people really do underestimate just how important the quality of your proteins are. You want it to be grass-fed, humanely raised, no antibiotics, no hormones. Because think about that. If you're eating that, that's going into your body, and everything we put into our body determines how our hormones and other systems and processes in our bodies behave, right? Cruciferous veggies, because they contain DIM, which is great for metabolizing excess estrogen in the body, right? You want to get your complex carbs, sweet potatoes, brown rice, things like that. I was going to get on a soapbox about the brown rice, but I'm not going to do that on this particular live. Herbs and spices, right? Turmeric. Turmeric is amazing for your body and inflammation, but turmeric is almost ineffective, right? Unless you are adding pepper with it, because the pepper is what activates the curcumin in the turmeric, right? Ginger, cinnamon, things like that. Making sure you're hydrated, getting a lot of water. And when I say a lot, it's relative. There's people out here that are like, oh, I drink 2 gallons of water. For what? How big are you? And are you taking the stage, right? All of that matters. Have your body weight in ounces of water, a bit more if you are working out and getting a good sweat. So you want to make sure you're hydrated. The quality of your water matters too, right? You want to make sure you have a 0 pitcher filter. The Brita pitcher is cute, but she don't do nothing. She don't do enough of what we need her to do. We need a quality filter, right? And the 0 is going to be more affordable. There are better ones out there, especially if you have a thyroid condition that you should be looking at. But unless that is something that you're dealing with, then we won't get into that right now, right? Probiotic rich foods, yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables, right? Quality matters, right? Organic. I cannot say it enough. Antioxidants like dark chocolate and berries and green tea, right? Making sure you're eating whole foods, unprocessed foods, and practicing mindful eating, right? That will enhance the benefits. So those are a great place for you to start. Again, it really depends on how you're presenting, because without me getting on a soapbox, it's not as cut and dry as, oh, I'm just going to add in all these things, right? What if legumes are not ideal for your body and you don't know that, right? So it really does depend on how you present. So definitely take the hormone quiz, and that will really tell us what you should be incorporating more of and things that you may want to stay away from until we get your sex panel back. And when I say sex panel, I mean your sex hormones panel, right? Our hormones are like estrogen and progesterone. Those are sex hormones. Anyway, I'm going to get off that because sometimes I get going and then I get people confused. So let me stay focused on the topic. Okay, so our next question came from Letitia, who asks, what hormones do my body lack that it seems my weight won't drop? So there is no cut and dry answer, right? Because I don't know what hormones your body is lacking. You would have to have a sex panel test done, a sex hormone panel test done. You can take a hormone quiz. Again, it's gonna give me a really great idea of what's happening in your body until we get those tests back. So the unpopular answer is I don't know, right? Because if your estrogen levels are low, that can contribute to weight gain. If they're high, that can also contribute to weight gain. There's other corresponding things that you'll be presenting with, which will tell me which one it is, right? If your progesterone is low or high relative to your estrogen, that tells me something else, and it tells me that we may need to shift focus, right? So it really just depends. If your testosterone levels are lower than they should be at this stage, that's going to tell me a lot too. So taking the hormone quiz until we can get your hormone tests back from your doctor is going to tell me a lot. So let me know if you want to take that. And also, if your thyroid is off, I don't know that without having more data from you, right? So that's why a lot of our women come in for one thing, and as we're working with them, things show up and it tells us more of the story, and we're able to shift and pivot from there. For example, I've talked about Shanae a lot, so I'll shift and talk about Ivy a little bit. Ivy came in knowing something was wrong with her body, but not knowing what it was, right? And not getting answers from her doctors. So we were able to, based on working with her and seeing different things come up and me having my suspicions about what could be happening, we're able to tell her what to ask her doctors for so that we can get the test back to confirm what I thought she was actually dealing with, which tells me to shift some of the things that she's eating, right? So there's so much that goes into that. Like it could be cortisol, it could be leptin or ghrelin or insulin. So I really don't know unless you have your hormone test done and or take a hormone quiz, because the quiz is going to tell me where to start, right? And we can move things around and shift and pivot as we're working together until we get that test back that tells us, okay, for sure it's this. But I mean, I've been doing this so long that I can, based on the way a woman is presenting, because we check in with our clients every week, right? We have a conversation and people will message me throughout the week. So I'm talking to them also several times throughout the week. And things show up that tells me, this might be more than just estrogen dominance, right? This could be Hashimoto's. That's totally different, right? So it's going to require a shift in protocols. So definitely take the hormone quiz. Let me know if you need access to that and I'll get it right over to you. And yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. So that is all I've got for you tonight. Thank you guys so much for being patient while I took some time off. But we are back and we will be doing our lives every week, of course, unless there's a holiday. And until next time, ciao.